This is a song that I wrote last year. It was right in the beginning of the pandemic where literally the entire world came to a screeching halt. And COVID-19 came on the front, and it was just this thing that nobody could wrap their minds around. And it was just growing at such a rapid rate, and none of us really knew the weight. No one really could quite understand until all of a sudden it had reached the United States from all the way across the globe. And next thing you know it, our nation, like all of Europe and Asia and most of Africa and just New Zealand and Australia, like everyone had shut down. Japan, I mean, it was just like, what is going on? How is this possible that the entire world could just stop? And we kept talking about it, and it was just so fascinating because at one point we had just wrapped up a study where it really talked about, how that the Lord calls us to a Sabbath, right? But he also calls for a Sabbath for the land, for, those that would cultivate these crops. There was actual times where the Lord said, okay, now you must let the land rest for a year. And he provided in that year, even though they had no crops, And I believe a lot of this past season, and still ongoing, quite honestly, he was showing us, one, you have neglected the Sabbath. You've neglected to take a personal Sabbath and as a whole, and we've neglected to give Sabbath rest to our land. And I remember looking, and we would be driving across the bridge over to Miami Beach, and all of a sudden you would see the water was clearer than it had ever been. The activity of marine life, dolphins, all this, it was just so active, and you hadn't seen that in forever. And you saw just nature responding to this Sabbath. And it was this really amazing thing of seeing just, families actually slowing down to actually realize and reprioritize, what was really important. And, a lot of people, I think, just kind of tried to shoo it away as if it's this thing, or explain it away. But after a while, it's just you can't explain this away. And yet, of course, in our human nature, we keep trying. But I became just so aware of our Father's chastening, his discipline, and he talks about how, in Hebrews, he talks about how if we are truly his, then we shouldn't shrink back from discipline. We shouldn't be shut down by it when we are disciplined by God, because that testifies to the fact that we are his children. But if we're not being disciplined by God, if we never think we are, then we are illegitimate. We don't belong to him. We are children of wrath. And so for me, I really just saw this just amazing, loving act of God's hand interceding and putting us all in a Sabbath across the world, saying, listen, your focus is off. Your priorities are off. And I need you to focus on me. And for those who belong to God, we saw that, and we've looked and we're like, Lord, forgive us. We've confessed and confessed and confessed. and repented and repented and repented. And the more and more that we as a church confess and repent, and the more we do it as individuals in our own secret places, the more and more that I truly believe that we will encounter a move of God like never before. The revival that we cry out for, that our very souls cry out for, it will come. So I encourage you, if you feel that right now that you're being, for some reason, punished by God, that God is withholding from you, or that God is, taking something away, or whatever that is, be asking him into that process. Ask him to search you. Ask him to shine a light on what's out of order and to help you walk it out and be aligned with his will, aligned with his footsteps. And so this song that I want to share is called Chastening. Father, hear our cries, have mercy on our soul. The shame that you despise has taken such a toll. Father, here we bow to you who knows such pain. We're all listening now to you who holds the reins. Through your chastening, your awakening, you're fathering our souls. You love us too much to leave us unchanged. A glimpse of your grace, we can't stay the same. You heal and rebuild us, the lost and the lame. You lay down your life to break off our chains. Your mighty hand